So our next storyteller is Eileen McGonigal. Eileen is from Thunder Bay. She's 3 years clean. This is Eileen's first time sharing her story at Rockin Recovery. Eileen shows her passion for recovery and her fellowship through working in the recovery field. Please welcome Eileen McGonigal.
Hi, my name's Eileen. I'm an addict. Hi, Eileen. I never would have known this life was possible if I wasn't an addict. On the outside, I had what most people would call a normal childhood. 2 hardworking parents, a younger brother. I went to a good school. I did well academically and socially. There was no chaos, no tragedy, no obvious trauma. So when I started to feel that deep, unexplainable ache inside, I told myself I had no right to feel it. I hadn't earned it. Other people had real pain, loss, divorce, failure. Me, I had no excuse. So I started to believe the only explanation: there must be something wrong with me. I watched others go through hell and come out stronger, while I stayed stuck, too afraid to try and too afraid to fail. I didn't reach for success, I just floated, until floating wasn't comfortable anymore. My friends moved on, university, careers, families, and I stayed behind, paralyzed by fear, hiding behind the mask of someone who had it all together. And I had many masks. The caretaker, so you'd think I was worthy of your love. The perfectionist, so I could feel like I was enough. And the clown, so I could control the narrative by making fun of myself before anyone else could. Masks are heavy. They dim your light, and they drown your spirit. Eventually, you forget who you really are underneath it all. When the weight became unbearable, I found my escape at the bar. Drinking made me feel free, especially among strangers. For a moment, I could breathe, but that moment never lasted. I'd wake up, back in the shame, the loneliness. I tried everything: new relationships, new roles, and new medications. But never once did I look at the root. I just kept circling the drain until the drain took me under. Everything changed when I was 35. I just left a toxic relationship and decided to stop taking my meds. Then someone offered me a line of cocaine, and I'd never touched it before. And I used to judge the people that would sneak off in the bar to do it. I thought they were ridiculous. Where am I? Oh yeah, sorry guys. But a few months later, I was that person. What started as weekend fun quickly turned into another toxic love affair. I couldn't wait up to meet with my new obsession, and I never wanted the weekend to end. The depression came back worse. The medications, mixed with cocaine and alcohol, only deepened the chaos. I felt like I was missing something fundamental, like I was just built differently. That maybe God forgot to give me the peace that lets people cope with life. Then someone handed me a pipe. For the first time, maybe ever, I felt peace. I felt logical, capable, and free. But that kind of freedom comes at a price. In just 1 year, I gave everything away, everything I owned and everything I loved. By some grace, my parents took me in. I think they hoped they could save me if I was close enough. They had already sacrificed so much, and I kept taking. I stole from them, I sold their belongings, and I hurled words at them like weapons, trying to make them feel the pain that I was drowning in. I was losing everything: my license, my car, the last bits of dignity that I had left. I told myself there was no coming back, that this was my life now. Then one day, I came home, exhausted, and my parents were asking questions that I didn't want to answer. My mom got in my face and she was yelling. And in one single lucid second, I saw her dying. Her face turned the same color it had the day that she had her heart attack in 2008, the day we almost lost her. That image is burned into my soul. And that was the moment, the turning point. Addiction doesn't just destroy the addict, it wrecks everyone who loves them. And even though I believed I was unlovable, in that moment, I knew I was loved, and that she was willing to die trying to love me through it. That night, I cried and I prayed, and that was my gift of desperation. That prayer gave me just enough courage to take one small step. A few days later, a friend offered help, and I said yes. I finally said yes. I was ready. Soon after, I found myself on Vancouver Island entering a treatment center. I stayed there for 63 days and went on to second stage housing for another 63. While I was there, I joined the online recovery community here in Thunder Bay, and I started showing up. People showed up for me, and for the first time, I showed up for myself. When I got home from out west, I already had a group of women to surround me with love and help me stay clean. Soon after, I began to volunteer, and then I got part-time work in a shelter, and then addiction services. Today, I work full-time in a recovery home. That girl who couldn't face life is now holding space for others to find their way through it. And today, my life is so much more than I ever imagined. It turns out God didn't forget to give me a piece when He made me. He just waited until I was ready to receive it. That missing piece was courage, the courage to be vulnerable, the courage to ask for help, the courage to heal, and the courage to feel, and the courage to stay. It's taken time, and it's still a process, but today, I have genuine friendships. I have a connection with my family, myself, and a higher power. I have self-respect, and most of all, I have freedom. There's no more masks, it's just me. Thank you.